let's talk about how do you hold their attention once they click on your site? How do you hold that person's attention once they click on your site? And man, this is kind of some technical data here, because this one dude, he had built all these millions of followers, but he was talking technical, and it's technical in a sense, but it's not really technical. But he said, hey man, he said, look at your retention metric. He said there is a thing called a retention metric, and that is how long you keep them on your site, right? And the whole purpose of this here is once they click on your site, you want to grab their attention and hold it, right? He said the first thing you got to do is start looking at your retention metric. See how long, go to YouTube and look under your analytics and find out how long people are literally staying there. That's going to tell you a lot about your channel. You have to know about your channel. You have to know what's happening. Don't matter if you're a small channel. If you're a small channel, you still have to know what's happening so that you can correct as you go. And trust me when I tell you, it is it's like corrections, constant corrections, because in order to get somebody to hold them, you may have to constantly reinvent yourself. You just may have to reinvent yourself. And can you see me? You may have to just constantly reinvent yourself. Don't think you're going to be one way the whole time. You're going to have to add new stuff. You have to grow in different areas. You're going to have to change up strategies. You may have to bring in some people. I mean, the world don't stand still. It keeps moving. And that means changes has to be made. And that retention metric, you got to look at it. You got to measure it, find out what people want when they want it, because you want to retain them there, because the algorithm is looking at how long people stay there and how many buttons they push, how many times they click and like or click and subscribe, but how many buttons they push. Algorithm is looking for it. One of the other things is this. It says to keep them once they click on your site. Now this is kind of strange, but I kind of like it though, because I can relate to it. It says at some point figure out how to engage them by name. And I was like, what the heck does that mean? I did. But then I thought about it after I started doing a little bit more research, and I'm gonna simplify it for you here. If everybody's got ESPN, right? And there's on ESPN, they have what they call pardon the interruption. Well, if you're not familiar with it, let me tell you what it is. Pardon the interruption is like a little ESPN show where the guys refer to their listeners, the people that are viewing the ESPN channel, as knuckleheads, right? And they don't mean it in a derogatory sense. They're just saying, that's how they just refer to them, like, hey, football fans, or hey, Warriors, or, or hey, Panthers, hey, Cougars. You know what I'm saying? It's just a name. It's just how they all identify. Figure out a way to identify with your people. And he said the best way is by name. And then I was like, how on earth are you going to come up with something like that? And then I thought about it. I was like, hey man, ESPN, and pardon the interruption, has done it brilliantly. It's a college course 101 on how to talk directly to your audience. And I was like, man, it's smooth. I like that. I think I can come up with something like that. And it's got to come to a point where we can get to that, because this is all done in stages. Boy, I tell you what, I'm almost ready to shut it down. Another way that you grab and hold their attention is they were saying that tell them while they're on your site that you've got a message board or something like that. You got ways that you can interact with them because, you know, they may want to be heard. You know, they may want to share some ideas. They may want to tell you something. And when you got them engaged, when they feel like they're a part of something, they're coming back. And, you know, they said like a discussion board. And I was like, man, that's cool. Because they will be, that means somebody's, you know, normally that's a daily thing. You know, when you have some kind of a discussion board, people show up for that every day to give input. And man, if you got somebody coming back every single day, that means you've held their attention. And, you know, we were talking about the retention rate, you know, and that's gonna bring them back.